Look at that. The mic audio is doing something. That page is doing something. I'm looking two places at once right now. I know that's a little bit confusing because usually I have just the one place to look. But I'm trying out a new setup here tonight. It is a new year. This is our first Signum Academy stream on Twitch for this year. Happy 2023. My name's Wesley, and I guess you can see my background of my desktop for a change. I'm going to move this background that's got the Signum Academy logo. There's William from a couple years ago now. He's 3 now. I should probably get a new background of him and our chickens. Hey, so I'm going to find my other window that's got the video, and we'll pick up where we left off. We're talking about Mother 3, fan translation. And it is, of course, for the Game Boy Advance. I can check my chat. I can do all kinds of things that I couldn't do before. Let's listen to the theme music here for just a sec. Shigesato Toy, Brownie Brown, and HAL Laboratory producers of this game. But although this player is starting a new game, of course, we're way beyond this. About halfway through the game now. Exploring. Oh, this is only one of 2, of course. We've explored the club. Here we go. If you recall from last time, sorry, I'm trying to find my bearings in the video here. We explored the club where somebody had seen that the bass player looked an awful lot like Duster, our lost party member. So we go up there and we help him remember who he is. He has forgotten. We also meet Kumatora, the princess, who is there taking care of Duster this whole time and trying to find the great and mysterious object that was stolen from Osohe Castle way back in our second chapter of the game, The Thief Adventure. That strange egg-shaped object that is a hummingbird egg, and we don't really know what it does, but it seems important. At least Wes, that is Duster's dad, has told us so. We are going to follow the best of our ability Duster's recollection of where he left that object. So we're exploring here, fighting increasingly scary looking enemies like the Slither Hen. Remember that the pig army is known for their tendency to combine monsters, different animals together to make monsters. So these chimera enemies have started to multiply and extend their reach across the world of Mother 3. Right now, the Lucas abilities, these psi powers, are triggered by fevers. And that was why our character here was running around in circles trying to learn some abilities. Looks like we can just move along a little bit here. We are just into the beginning of chapter 5. Thunder Tower. Not sure why we want to save the game again. Oh, we're just getting some dragon points, I think. Remember, we now have a currency. Dragon points can be used to buy and sell, where before there was no such thing. And again, as I was talking about a minute ago, this fever that happens, you can't see it very well, but there's a little kind of bubble of heat, almost like boiling water. And that indicates that a character is about to learn a new psi ability. They are not allowed to run when they have that going on. And so you are forced to just walk for a little bit, take your time and stroll, which, as we may recall, is one of Itoi's whole points with this game and the design of it, to make as much as possible to make it worth taking your time. There we go. We learned Hypnosis Omega. Notice that the Gravekeeper's house has been struck by lightning, and there is another indication that we're headed for the source of that lightning strike, the Thunder Tower, that we saw at the start of the chapter. Right now we're exploring the castle. Finally got old partying, the ghost said. It was the setting for adventure. There's nothing to sense. I believe that there's a hidden boss here at the castle. That might be what our player is headed for right now. I believe that's what they're doing in the castle. So we're exploring the castle once more now that we have our full party back together. And if we keep going, swing with the rope snake, take care of that once scary suit of armor, and we return to the scene of our former battle. Gotta fight the pseudo door, the pseudo, fake door, false door. There we go, Lord Passion. The Ode to Ancestors 8th movement. Listen thoroughly. You can say yes or no. If you say no, you have to battle him. Let's listen to his song a little bit though. Do you recognize that? This player is really good at doing combo hits. Notice the tempo keeps kind of changing, the melodies keep changing. Oh. It's worth a try. Sorry if you lost me there for a minute. That's a bit more like me when I'm fighting my battles. Anyhow, I'll just talk over this for a sec. This is a hidden boss. Will I talk over it? Yeah. A hidden secret enemy that you can go and battle for a pretty cool prize. I think it's a weapon. And let's notice that the music that he's playing is quite a variety here. So this is something that they spent a fair amount of time adding to the game, something that a lot of players would never even find. I really do think that all these games in the EarthBound series are such a labor of love on the part of the creators. Very playful, incorporating all these different pieces of music, classical music, that you might recognize, you might not. There's the Beethoven, there's some Bach, I don't know what else, but it's all good stuff. So we'll let this battle play out and we'll move ourselves along here. go find the place that Duster thinks he left that key item of ours, the hummingbird egg. And when we do go there, here we go. We'll find that the place that he left it, yeah, is still the same. He hid the egg right here in this clay man. He's pretty sure it's there. And in that moment, lightning strikes from Thunder Tower. Duster's fine, as he says, because it didn't strike him directly. But it ended up activating this Clayman and bringing him back to active life. Looks for a minute like he's going to attack us, and then he runs into some walls and takes off. Take off with the egg. Gotta go after it. All right. Perfect. Let's dash along. The Tower of Love and Peace, the sign says, stay away. So a long scrolling here to show you the electric gun at the top, crackling with power. There's a good view of this tower from Club Tittyboo. I wonder what it's here for. Well, among the things it can do, shooting lightning, burning down people's houses, also apparently it can raise the Claymen back to life. So it's energized this one. We're setting off in pursuit. I want to skip ahead here for a little bit. We come to a factory full of the clay people. And something strange. The pig masks stand to attention. He calls you sir. I wasn't aware you were here, sir. Please forgive my rudeness. Wearing such a shabby outfit will set a bad example to the men, Commander. I'll prepare a change of clothes for you. Put them on right away, sir. Likewise for the folks accompanying you. And so, Boney changes out of one costume into another disguise, and we have this strange outfit on. Who could they possibly have mistaken Lucas for being? They call you the Commander. And you are apparently quite an important person. Strictly in a friend sense, you get a secret herb, quite a present. And you felt something warm inside your heart, which is lovely. So we're going to explore the assembly line, talk to our subordinates here, and generally make our way along trying to find that particular Clayman that was out of control. Ooh. So it's been taken to the dump. Bummer. All right. They take them to the trash heap when they break down. Yeah, that is kind of sad. So again, we're in this world that is highly commercialized. There's a lot of stuff to buy and sell and produce and toss out and get rid of. And part of what we're doing right now, it seems, is exploring what happens to a place that transitions quickly from having everyone just give each other anything they need to a place where you have to buy and sell things, you have to produce them in a factory. And on the one hand, this means that things are more valuable, I suppose, because you can make a living reliably, you can work in the factory. People care a lot more about things, and that's the underpinning of what they do with their lives. But on the other hand, there's a certain problem here of what do you do with the things when they break down? Again, a pig mask recognizes you as the commander and he offers you this vehicle. We mistakenly threw something in the garbage. Seems about right. So we'll follow the truck in this. I don't know for sure, but all these broken machines, these things we accidentally threw away, it seems like they could be a way of thinking about video games, of course. When a new video game comes out, the old ones are sort of forgotten, left behind. And that's definitely what we're trying to avoid in this playthrough. Well, watching rather than playing, but as soon as we take over, we crash slipping on a banana peel somehow, even though it's a hovercraft. Makes no sense. Are you all right? It's Facade who's been tossing banana peels. So Facade is around here too. The nefarious leader of the monkeys. You smell like a dog and a kid. So another callback to a joke from before. Ooh, he says you can't fool my wild nose. He's pretending to be the commander. So we got to take on the fierce pork trooper. Again, you can win this battle very easily using the fan magazine that he's so into. And then you can ride the pork bean properly. This flying vehicle that somehow slips on banana peels. But what I think we're supposed to notice here is that our characters are also, in a way, disposable or replaceable. We look exactly like someone else. Everyone mistakes us for someone else. That is Lucas, the protagonist. He looks just like this commander person. And I'm really hesitant to spoil this for you if you haven't put it together yet, but he has a twin. We know this from the beginning of the game. Lucas and Klaus are twins, and Klaus is the more active go-getter of the two. He's a daredevil. He's gone missing, and we know that he was back in the background of that battle at the start of the game. So apparently we can pretty fairly assume he is the commander of the pig army, the pork army now. And they think we look exactly like him. So they're listening to us. They're afraid of us now. He's put the fear of his power into these soldiers. So the soldiers are in charge of Thunder Tower. He's in charge of the soldiers. He's responsible for all this destruction and this waste, in some sense. We'd better figure this out. So, one other little thing I'd mention here is that in terms of video games and dumpsters and garbage heaps, there's a very famous historical piece to that. Before Nintendo as a company starts to dominate all the video game consoles throughout the early period of people playing video games in their houses and their homes. Before that happened, there was the Atari. And the Atari was having some trouble, but it had its major downfall in a very famous case of overproducing a really, really terrible game based on the movie E.T. And this E.T. game was so bad that they were unable pretty quickly. The word got out this game was so bad, they were unable to sell the vast majority of the copies of the game they had produced right around the Christmas season. And so all those unsold games eventually made their way to a dumpster out in the desert somewhere. This is the folk story about it, and I think that there is some truth to it. So possibly Mother 3 here is referencing that story with the creature that's sent to the garbage heap very sadly, mistakenly, throwing out this key item of ours. Because there are some good games on the Atari, but it could never recover from that. The Forlorn Junk Heap, it's now a Clayman assembled together with a bunch of other stuff. It looks like a handbag or a picnic basket, a claw, a golf club or something like that. And this freakish combination of junk that people have thrown away comes back to attack our party. And it comes into the battle with a shield on. That's kind of interesting. This player knows all the tricks. So I won't keep you too much longer here. We're heading through this battle, the same strategy we employed before, upping our statistics, lowering the enemy's statistics, and then going to town with our attacks. So now we're in Thunder Tower. Very good. We're still trying to get a hold of that item. And battling our way through many newer sorts of robots, but still being taken for the commander, so none of the pigs are attacking. Another pamphlet, just in case we need to fight. Yep, people who disobeyed had their houses charged. That is charred. Sunny with occasional lightning in places. All right, skipping ahead. Let's make our way to the top of the tower here. On the way up there is a strange room that has a shop in it, just in case we need it. Vending machine. This strange room has a bunch of items from the beginning of the franchise. Earlier games in the EarthBound series are being referenced in this room, which is a little bit creepy. There's something unsettling about this place. The Friend's yo-yo is in a glass case, and this robotic maid called Lil Miss Marshmallow attacks if you try to take it. This is one of the harder optional boss fights in the game, but again, it's only optional, so you can avoid it if you need to. But I don't think this player is going to have any trouble. They're really good at this game. They're really overpowered, and so they take out the Little Marshmallow. Here we go to the very top of the tower. Lucas, struck by lightning, learns a powerful psi ability. And, oh, my battery's running low. That's not good. Well, I should probably bring my charging cable down next time I set up in here. All right. We are going to just wrap this up. We fight the Guardian of the Electric Tower, who gives us electric shocks every time we touch him. PK Flash doesn't work on him right away. Mr. Janitor, pretty powerful foe. But you can put on some equipment that protects against those electric attacks. And there's Facade. Sure enough, tossing us out of the tower. There's only one way to escape. And that's off the very top. Nowhere to run now. Been a real thorn in our side, you know that? He's doing a villain speech about happiness.